Okay, today I read an article about UK, Canada, and Australia announce formal recognition of Palestinian state. I saw a headline about this yesterday, and a few people mentioned it. Um, Down here, um, guess it's not the article I read. Well, anyway, Donald Trump said he disagreed with that, and dear Donald Trump, our dear leader, you should recognize a Palestinian state because a lot of us here in the United States think that. And quite frankly, I don't care about the people who disagree with that because they're all waiting for the Christian doomsday called Armageddon. Well, I've been waiting for that for 2,000 years. It's not going to happen. So stop living your fantasy and recognize that there's a genocide in Israel. And 140 countries have recognized Palestine as a state. If we all agree that Palestine is a state, then they should stop attacking it. Now, I realize that Hamas is not a good organization, and we shouldn't reward Hamas. But we should try to save the Palestinian people who live in Gaza and the West Bank. Israel is doing a ground attack in Gaza City. So apparently Netanyahu wants to continue with his total victory over Gaza or his total victory over Hamas, whichever one you think it is. I just think he wants all the Palestinians dead because that's what I learned as a Christian when I was growing up. That those are the enemy of God and the enemy of God's people. Well, it hasn't worked in 2,000 years, guys. It was supposed to happen before the generation that Jesus died in was over. You people, some of you will still be alive when the second coming happens and all of this Armageddon crap is what was talked about in Revelation. So I believe that the Christians in the United States are primarily concerned about being on the right side of Israel for the Armageddon because they're afraid they'll go to hell if they're on the wrong side. Well, guess what? The Palestinians are in hell right now. If you guys don't start exercising some empathy, there's going to be a lot more of them dying. And I think that's despicable. So everybody should call their congressman or whatever, send a message to the president. We don't approve of this genocide. And would you recognize Palestine as a state? Because it's not official yet. Just because 140 countries in the world think that Palestine should be a state and recognizes it as such, we haven't made it official, so it's just not good enough yet. We should make it official. I don't know how that's going to happen, but Donald Trump, you're real good at uh, sticking the thumb to the guy So why don't you just go ahead and do it this time and say, all right, fine. Stick it to Netanyahu and recognize Palestinian state. Don't tell me, Donald, that you're such a huge fan of Netanyahu. I realize that you're using the Christian population of the United States to get what you want. But you're getting played by Netanyahu, who's just going to kill as many people as he can in Gaza. So give him the thumbs up his ass and tell him to fuck off and recognize the Palestinian state. I don't know if you're going to be able to do the same thing in Ukraine. I guess you don't give a shit about Ukraine either, but I think the best way to end the war in Ukraine is for Putin to get the hell out of it, because it ain't his. It was an independent state for 30 years. There's absolutely no justification for entering Ukraine by Russia. I know that Putin thinks that he has every right to enter Ukraine, but he doesn't. It was already an independent state. You didn't enter it for 30 years. Should stay out now. But I really feel like the biggest problem right now is the genocide in Gaza. And I'm embarrassed that our dear leader, Donald Trump, disagrees with the position of the UK that Palestine is a state. So, again, everybody call your government people and tell them that you think that the United States should recognize Palestine as a state. I recognize Palestine as a state. I personally recognize Palestine as a state. Free Palestine. I know that nobody are listening to me. I've got 30 subs right now. Probably don't have that many listeners. If I do, you guys go ahead and subscribe now. You don't have to push the bell. I don't like the bell myself. I never push it. Thank you very much. Love you. Bye.